Hi, it's Jen with JB Partners. I wanted to reach out because I've gotten a lot of emails and phone calls from people who are going through crisis right now, and the stress is so overwhelming. They don't know how to deal with it. It's impacting their relationships. They're fighting with their spouses or partners and family. They're paralyzed by everything that they need to do. They're in total overwhelm. So I want to give some quick effective coping strategies for anyone that's in a crisis. I call it crisis coping. The first is one to stop and breathe. Take a few deep breaths. Oxygen increases your critical thinking levels in your brain. Without oxygen, you can't make good decisions, and the stress response actually reduces and shrinks our ability to take in oxygen. So because we shallow breathe and other physiological side effects. So stop in through the nose, out through the mouth, a good 5 to 10 times. Second, this might sound a little strange, but talk to yourself out loud in the third person. So actually use your name. Talk yourself down. Research study shows that when someone says, for example, Jen, stop what you're thinking right now. That's ridiculous. And you talk out loud and you say your name. It's almost as if you're getting advice from another person and the brain hears it, and it changes the stress response. Third, and this is so important, think and act in the smallest steps possible. You know, a lot of people read leadership books or they know quotes. And a famous quote from Stephen Covey is, keep the end in mind. Well, that's a great advice for when you're goal setting. But when you're under stress, you actually don't want to keep the end in mind. You just want to focus on what's in front of you in small little baby steps. And then the last crisis coping method you can do right now is to write everything down that you're feeling is on your plate, even if it's the smallest little thing like going to the grocery store or buying milk or calling somebody. Once you write everything down, it's called creating white space. Once you write everything down, then the next step is to delegate. You don't have to do everything in a crisis. Other people are capable of doing a lot of other things. And so delegate. But here's where, and if you've been arguing with your spouses, which I've been getting a lot of phone calls about that over the last week or so, is agree upon what you're going to do and what your spouse is going to do. Really write it down, delegate it to each other, and then give each other a timeline. Say, okay, at the end of the day, we're going to talk about what we've gotten done. These steps will really help reduce that stress in the moment so that you can get to your next moment.